Hi everyone, it is the 1st of July 2017 and it is cold in Sydney. Now, I think most of our group from some previous posts belong to the United States. So if you're one of the majority, it would seem that you're in summer. But here it's cold and I am certainly not a winter person. So I'm the first to complain about the cold days. And to me, cold is anything under about 15 degrees Celsius. And I think this morning we got down to about 7. I was at my son's soccer and 7 degrees. So comparatively, probably a mild winter morning for some places in the world, but for me, freezing. Anyway, I wanted to say hello and to wish everyone a happy, peace-filled weekend and to let you know that I am currently on my way to visit my mum, who had a fall yesterday. I got a call just as I was arriving at work and was told that she'd fallen, and the doctor had looked at her and it seems that she's fractured her wrist. So this made me want to talk about pain in dementia, because when you have advanced stage dementia and a patient like my mum who's aphasic, which means she has lost her ability to communicate and unable to really tell you if she's in pain, what to do, and to sort of open the discussion about how to manage pain in dementia, because it's not a simple thing. So with mum over the phone, I haven't seen her since the fall, and I will assess her a little bit more when I get there shortly. But the first question to me is, how much pain is she in? Because we can assume that if someone has fractured their wrist, then that's going to be painful. But in dementia, the pain receptors in the brain, just like many neural pathways in the brain, have been negatively impacted by the atrophy and the dementing process. So pain perception in dementia is not necessarily the same as it would be otherwise. So sometimes the patient will feel reduced pain signals, and they may have a broken bone and not really respond to that pain at all. Whereas they may have a small scratch and act like they've lost a limb. So it's very much an individualized process, and we can't generalize. So with my mum, the first question I asked when I was told she'd probably broken her wrist is, how is she? Is she favoring the other hand? Is she still using her wrist to engage in, normal routine activities? And I was told, yes, she is. So she's still using her potentially broken wrist to eat, to open doors and to turn on taps and things like that. So that tells me immediately that she's not in that much pain. But then there's, pardon me, the possibility that by using the wrist, she could maybe cause further damage. So we got it strapped up, a nice tight bandage to reduce the risk of further damage. And the doctor suggested we get an X-ray. Again, that seems like the obvious thing to do, but we know it's not a massive break. It's probably a Colles fracture, a small fracture, and the treatment outcome would probably be the same with or without the X-ray, either a back cast, plaster, or a tight bandage. So yes, do I put my mum through the trauma? And for her, I beg your pardon, for her, it would be a traumatic experience, having to go and get an X-ray and then have a plaster and then endure weeks of the restriction and irritation that a plaster can bring without really understanding why it's there. Is that actually worth it? And to me, immediately, if she's not in that much pain, the answer is no. So pain in dementia is an important topic, and we can't assume that we respond as carers as we would for someone who didn't have the disease. So what I'm going to do is go and visit mum now, and I'll probably give you an update when I'm there and let you know the outcome of her injury and what I've decided to do and my rationale for choosing that outcome. So let's open the discussion about pain, and let's start talking about pain in dementia and how the pain receptors can be changed and the pain response can be altered in people with dementia, and how that in turn should impact how we as carers respond. So the last thing we want to do with a patient is restrain them, any sort of restraint, whether that's physical restraint, chemical restraint, even, a plaster is a form of restraint. So yeah, to get an x-ray and to proceed with those kind of normal treatment processes, my mum would have to be sedated. She wouldn't engage willingly, and sedating her then increases her risk of another fall, which she, has just had. So yeah, it's very much a catch-22, and it's not a straightforward, simple response. So let's talk about pain. Let's talk about how you manage pain in your loved ones, and I'll give you an update soon. So stay tuned, and I will be back soon. Take care, and if you're in Sydney, stay warm. Have a great weekend. Bye.